Jurassic Park. Now playing the theater.
Ecto goggles with Ecto Bomber, neutron blaster, and water zapper, each sold separately.
From the corner penthouse of Spook Central all the way to Star Killer Base, this is Yes Have Some Podcast.
Do I? Yes, have some. Yes, have some.
You know, they told me you people were conceited douchebags.
The only place in the multiverse where you can love the book, hate the movie, but still buy all the toys.
I'm afraid you're just too darn loud.
I'm not looking for a friend. I'm looking for a Jedi Master.
What?
Please remember to hold on to your butts and get ready to get stressed. With your hosts, Craig Goldberg, Abigail Gardner, and Jacob Walsh.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 160 of Yes Have Some Podcast. That is 160. Man, we've been doing this a long time. I'm having a great time doing it with my co-hosts, Abigail Gardner.
Yo, what's up, guys?
Jacob Walsh.
I'm here.
President.
Here.
You owe me a Dr. Pepper.
What'd you say?
We jinxed.
Oh, I see.
You see? Okay.
We're not contractually obligated to say Dr. Pepper?
But I want to, because I missed that time in my life.
Because we want to be contracted.
Because we want to be.
Say Dr. Pepper.
Yeah,
Anyway,
so I'm just going to keep saying it.
So I went to the toy store, sipping on a
Unless
Dr.
Coke's
Pepper.
listening.
As usual.
Excuse me, I was sipping a Dr. Pepper.
All right, everybody, welcome to the show. Thank you so much for joining us. We're a couple of weeks away from Dragon Con. Comic-Con just happened. We were not there, but we lived vicariously through all of the pictures and social media posts. Mm-hmm. I want to go to Comic-Con. I got to get out there. I feel like I belong.
Yeah, that's what I just said when we wrapped our bonus episode up right before this. I said I want to be one of the people on the other side of the glass cases that's like peering into the toy while it's being photographed. I want to be there. I want to be up close and watching like the toy. Oh, I'm wanting to say the wrong name. Not Toy Guru. Pixel Dan, watching Pixel Dan's like footage always makes me want to be there even more because I feel like we could definitely do that. So I want to get over there and do it.
We got to get there. We're gonna go there. Jake, what are you up to, man? How are you?
I'm good, man. Just hanging out. Like still kind of reeling from all the news, and the Comic-Con every year is kind of like a I don't know. It's like it's right before Dragon Con, so your mind's kind of already in the Dragon Con world, but Comic Con happens, and for the entire week, it is nothing but like, it's kind of mentally exhausting. Like the Saturday when the Marvel panel was going on, I'm like just refreshing over and over so I can be like, say X-Men, say X-Men. It's just like kind of it takes so much out of you. Seeing all the stuff that you're going to want to buy, and you're like, I don't have the money for this. I can't afford this. I'm going to buy this anyway. Like, it's just so much information.
Yeah, there's a lot going on. So we'll make it out there, hopefully next year. But to all the people who were there, hope you had a great time. Looked like a fun, safe weekend. Mm-hmm. But we got Dragon Con coming up. And of course, everybody knows we're doing the first ever YHS live panel at Dragon Con, where we talk about all of our favorite franchises in the future. And we're going to debate, Ghostbusters 3 and Bill and Ted 3, Gremlins 3. Basically all threes. Maybe we should call the panel.
Yeah.
YHS 3s.
Third one. Cool.
The third. YHS third one. Good things coming.
Yeah. Totally.
Do they?
The trifecta.
Good. Yes.
Thank you. Triad. Tripod. Try harder. I'm done.
What are we doing?
I don't know. It was some free form word association.
We've got
slam poetry.
Yeah. Get used to it, guys. All slam poetry. Come to our panel. I'm going to get up in a beret and do slam poetry. It's not true.
We're all wearing kilts. So listen, Dragon Con's coming up. We're going to be talking about that over the next couple weeks a lot. But we're not going to worry about that as much tonight. But before we get going on all this Comic-Con coverage, because we are going to get in depth on this MCU stuff, and then we've got a trailer park fuck budget. That's what I just called it.
I liked that.
Well, because there's 5 trailers.
I literally looked at you when you said that, and I was like, huh? I like it. It's good.
Yeah. Okay.
I think it's good.
That's good. But real quick, I want to talk about Patreon. I want to talk about the Yes Have Some community that we're building on Patreon. We absolutely love how many people have signed up, how many people are contributing. We can't tell you now how much we appreciate it. It's only $5 a month. That $5 goes a very long way. It helps us with all the stuff that it helps us with. Website costs, hosting costs. It allows us to do cool stuff. It allows us to produce more content. We just did that whole run of enamel pins. It allows us to do more than we've done before, and we want to keep it going. We want to build the community. Mm-hmm. So what we're doing now is offering even more bonus content. So every week, not only are we going to get those 2 bonus episodes per month, we are going to be giving you the show notes in a post from our weekly episodes so you guys can get an advanced look at what we're going to be talking about for that week's episodes. We're going to be doing more video content. We just posted 20 minutes of unedited footage from our trip to 20 minutes.
Oh, uncut.
That's a lot.
I loved it.
That's like the whole trip.
That's like what your neighbors show you when they're like forcing all their trip footage on you at their house.
That's what
vacation.
We're doing. That's what Patreon
20
is.
minutes.
Patreon guys, come over, look at our video.
Look at all of it. It's not edited.
I haven't even seen that. I want to go see that.
Well, you're gonna have to sign up.
It's a surprise.
No, you gotta sign up for Patreon.
The genesis of that was I was looking at, I don't know, for those of you who have an iPhone, like it will make videos for you out of photos that you took during a certain period of time in videos. And my phone made a little video collage of our trip to Los Angeles. And I was like, this is like actually good. I said
it's pretty good.
And I put it in our story. Yeah, exactly. I think Craig was inspired by that.
Inspired, I was defeated.
You were trying to make something better.
Your phone automatically made something.
It even like picked out good quotes. Like it would just randomly cut to Craig and you would say something and I'm like, oh, that's funny.
I was like, who the fuck? How is that? Is that just the future? Because computers are going to be more talented than human beings?
I'll tell you who it was.
Well, they already are.
They are.
It was Raymond Satanzi.
Oh, fuck.
Have you
Part of the
updated everybody
Satanzi
with that?
family?
You got to talk about that.
Raymond,
real quick. We'll get to Raymond Satanzi. But if you want to get in on Patreon, if you want to get in on the fun, bonus episodes, the complete archive available as soon as you sign up or line up.
Yeah.
Do not come to our house and line up to sign up for Patreon.
That would be cool.
You got to do it online.
Like a Comic-Con panel.
You got to go to patreon.com/yeshavesome. You sign up, and for $5, you get complete access to everything we're offering on Patreon. We don't have a bunch of tiers. You can do $1 if you want, which also helps us. But for $5 a month, you get all of the bonus content. And we're going to keep it going. We're going to be doing more videos. We got DragonCon coming up. We got Halloween Horror Nights. Plenty of opportunities to give you guys more bonus content. We love our YHS listeners. We love what we've created so far. We love the community, and we just want to keep it going.
Love it. I was about to give a speech about how we worked so hard and how I make so many notes, but then I realized I was looking at pictures of toys like all afternoon taking notes. It's fun. So
it's fun. It's fun.
Love it.
Abby, Raymond Satanzi update. Go.
Oh my God. If you follow us on Instagram, then you saw my post today about bootleg toys. And I've talked, I think on our last episode about my DragonCon costume lineup. I am going to be dressing up as a bootleg Lego figure, the Raymond Satanzi figure, which was sent to our house by AJ Quick. Thanks, AJ. He actually sent us all 4 of the bootleg Ghostbusters. They're called Gotsbusters. If you're like reading it, it's like they're knockoff, made from I guess probably China, and they're literally reading the Raymond Satanzi box makes me laugh. Looking at the picture of it is one of the greatest joys in my life recently. So I ordered a Satanzi patch, and I love bootleg stuff like that, and I also feel like it's kind of one of a kind. So I'm taking my black flight suit. I'm going to put a Satanzi patch. And Craig, when you were talking to AJ, you were like, Abby's parents are going to be so proud. And AJ was like, oh, Mr. and Mrs. Satanzi. It's great.
It's fun.
All of it makes me laugh. And that's pretty much it. If you want to go on our Instagram, you can see a picture of it. And then stay tuned because I'll be dressing up as him in the parade. Or more like my own version of him. I just want to have the Satanzi patch.
And we all do.
Yeah.
I want Satanzi to be the official Ghostbuster of Yes Have Some podcast.
Yeah.
It's done.
It's done. There it is.
Done.
You know, you
Official.
got Venkman, Spangler, Zedmore, Stantz, Holtzman. Wait, there's more Ghostbusters.
Gilbert.
God, I'm Tolan.
Do we get Gilbert, Tolan,
Yates, and Satanzi?
Bro, I'm looking at them.
Also,
right now.
we're not even going to go into Extreme Ghostbusters or comic book Ghostbusters. It's
Eduardo.
There's too many.
Okay.
Hey, speaking of Extreme Ghostbusters, did you know there was never a Garrett action figure made?
Yeah. There's a prototype.
There's a prototype, but there was only one, but somebody found a second Garrett prototype.
Oh.
Wow. Where'd they find it?
I don't know. But so the figure has a wheelchair. It's like a really cool extreme wheelchair. Mm-hmm. And this is really dumb. And it kind of, I don't know, it's the Ghostbusters community in a nutshell. But everybody knows in the show Garrett was in a wheelchair, which is great. He was a great Ghostbuster. Somebody found the prototype and had the figure and had it standing up and took a picture. And someone was like, that's stupid that it can stand. And the person was like, what do you even mean? Like, where are you going with this?
Because it's not screen accurate. It should not be able to be
like,
I wanted to say erect, but you know what I mean. Like,
well, they think it should be like a Diamond Select figure. It just can't stand up. Just fall over.
Was this all a setup for that?
No, but I just thought of it. It made me laugh. So,
ha. Ha.
But anyways.
I want that figure.
Good luck, because that's expensive to get those prototypes.
I feel like Extreme Ghostbusters is underrated. I feel like...
You've been watching it a
Yeah, we've been watching it and had it on, and I think it's funny. I mean, it's got some stuff. It's got some things, but it's overall, like... I like the theme song and like the grunginess of it, and I've always wanted to do a Kylie costume. All right, those are my thoughts on Extreme Ghostbusters.
There you go. Before we move on into all of this Comic-Con stuff, does anybody have any housekeeping or things that they need to mention, get off their chest before we move forward? Because we do have a lot to cover.
No.
If you want to win some Fallout stuff, we've got a contest going right now on our Instagram, which I did.
Probably that.
Yeah, dude, I'm like running the show. I love it. I ran our Instagram today. It felt good. I was engaging. So yeah, if you want to follow us on Instagram, it's at YHS Podcast, and you can enter.
No. There's no if. If you are listening to this right now,
and you already follow us,
you better.
But
we got a contest going.
Mm-hmm. Contest is basically you can win the plasma pistol and the dog meat statue put out by Chronicle Collectibles, which from Fallout, from the game, which I don't play. I'm not going to act like I do, but I know that these are very cool replicas because I've handled them and looked at them. And
you don't play Fallout?
Are you even a real nerd?
Are you telling me that you don't know the significance of dog meat?
Dude, it looks like my brother-in-law Andrew's dog, and I was like, that's cute.
It looks like a dog was going to Dragon Con and was like, I'm Steampunk.
We are only calling that Steampunk dog.
God, I wish
I've never played Fallout either. I don't know.
Dude, I'm just imagined like
you not know the significance of dog meat.
The dog's hungry. Somebody get my steam-powered can opener.
I need my goggles.
Boom, 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 boom. I don't understand steampunk. I need somebody to explain it to me. Do you have to have a blimp?
It's in a different time. It's an alternative history when steam power was still very popular.
It was an alternative history
for electricity.
Where your
Do you guys remember function.
Do
you remember the year of Dragon Con when steampunk like really hit? I remember one year it was like there was a little bit of it and everyone was like, oh, well, that looks cool. I don't know what this is, but this is cool. And then the next year there was like a little more of it. Mm-hmm. And then the next year it was like, enough! We're done!
It was like
so much, everything is steampunk. Yeah.
It's too much.
Hey, it got crazy.
Too high.
Sorry, I yelled.
Hold on.
No, I liked it. I feel the same way.
Before we move on, let's do a little confession here. I don't know if I've
Confessions of a steampunk fan.
I like steampunk.
I mean, who doesn't? It's cool. It's very cool.
Is it?
It's not
I had
cool.
I had a friend that I went to Dragon Con with one year, like before I was like really good friends with all the, Ghostbusters community before I met you guys. And he was like huge into steampunk and built his own steampunk costume that just wasn't anything in particular, but just parts and stuff. And
did he have a monocle?
Oh, do they all have monocles? Don't they? Like, Yeah, I don't know.
other
It was
three or
like
four
it was
functions.
a
Dude,
fucking
Steampunk-
repainted Nerf gun and just like all the same
Hey, if you're
bullshit that they all have.
If you're in steampunk with 20/20 eyesight, you're ostracized from the steampunk community. They're like, yes, he doesn't even need a monocle. He's got perfect vision. Remove
Well,
him.
it's just like, have you ever heard of like have you ever heard this thing that like when people who ride motorcycles have like these little bells that they hang from the motorcycle? If you ever go into like a Harley Davidson store or any kind of motorcycle shop, they sell these little bells, and they're like protection bells, and you're not supposed to buy your own. Like someone is supposed to buy it for you. I only know this because all my friends have motorcycles that I work with and shit. But I think monocles are the exact same way in the steampunk community. You get into steampunk, somebody has to gift you with a monocle, and until that happens, you're not actually a part of the community.
It's like the flight suit.
Yeah.
Love it.
Sure, yeah.
I'm trying to think, so Jake, like we've told the story so many times about how you were worried about the first time in the Ghostbusters parade at DragonCon that you didn't have a leg hose. Like, what is the leg hose of the steampunk community? Is it like the little hat?
It's a Nerf gun. It's a repainted Nerf gun.
Yeah.
There's so many.
If you don't have your repainted Nerf gun, you better get on it.
You're not really part of the group.
Yeah.
Craig, you went through a legitimate phase where
you have to have at least 5 gears on your person at all time.
You gotta be able to shit.
Listen, here's the thing though. There's certain aspects of steampunk I appreciate. Like I think
it does look cool. It can be really cool for sure.
I think like Victorian aesthetic, like furniture and things like that, is very cool.
Craig's like, I like Victorian couches.
I do.
We have a piece. Can we talk about the steampunk piece in our collection?
It's not.
It's like a pepper grinder or something.
It's not.
It's something that has. It's got one. You've seen it, Jake. You've been inside our house. It's in our kitchen.
Grinder. It's like a drill from the 1930s.
Craig bought it from a flea market because he wanted our living room to be steampunk.
God fucking damn it! I'm gonna leave.
And he put it in our cabinet. And I remember he brought me in and he was like, "This is how do you feel about this?" I was thinking we could do something more steampunk.
Craig's like, you come home from work. Craig's like, close your eyes. He brings you into the kitchen. And he's like, honey, we're steampunk now.
We're steampunk. And I look in the mirror and I've got a little hat on. I love it. I knew it. I knew we always were.
He brought you into the bedroom. There was a monocle on the bed.
Oh, the bed is a monocle.
I'm wearing nothing but a vest.
Do we know enough about
a button-up vest?
Oh my god.
Holy fucking shit.
I think we're done recording.
That was the hardest I've ever laughed while recording. I've been laughing for 2 minutes.
Steampunk is fun.
Honey!
Get in here!
Jacob!
Steampunk!
Abigail, Jacob, report to the toy room. I've replaced all the toys with various elixirs in medicine bottles. Toys are child's play here. I have a Victorian baby casket.
Oh, God.
I live in it now.
Craig, what are you doing with all these Nerf guns? They're not Nerf guns anymore.
Guns.
Jacob
Welsh?
Oh, yes. To the layman, you see Nerf gun, but I see a revolution.
The future.
A steam-powered flagger blasting.
Holy
I have to stop trying to drink.
We should probably get back to Comic-Con.
Hey, guys.
Yeah.
If we can do 1/4 of that for our
bring it to the goddamn panel.
Here's the Dragon Con panel. Hey guys, remember that steampunk thing we did? And it just falls flat.
I'm like, yeah, I got a hat on.
I think if we have that conversation at Dragon Con, then we're probably gonna
tarred
offend most of
it's not
Dragon
gonna be, yeah, it's not gonna be. It won't be steampunk. Dude, it'll be a fucking Frankenstein with the whole Dragon Con, the whole crowd chasing us with pitchforks.
Yeah,
outside of the Marriott.
We're just, oh my god,
holy shit!
I love it.
Well, I feel bad for anybody who this is your first episode.
Enemies of the convention.
Or any of our listeners that really love Steampunk.
Yeah. Also,
I like it.
No, you can tell by listening to this that we also like it. Deep down.
We should
very much like
Can
it.
this episode be called Honey, We're Steampunk Now?
Honey, we're Steampunk now.
I can't say it without laughing.
Hold on, real quick. I found an article. Let's just hold on. We got a lot to cover. It's fine. I found an article called "The 6 Rules of Steampunk Fashion," and I just want to go through it real quick.
Okay.
Just really, very quickly.
I'm gonna choke.
Number 1. Steampunk fashion is a real-world reproduction of the clothing that is or could be found in steampunk literature. It's that simple. Yeah, if you know about steampunk literature.
That's a rule.
Is that a rule? Rule 2. When in doubt, dress Victorian and then add. I think that's where the Lego or the Nerf gun comes in.
Got it.
Yeah.
Oh, this is none of this is even good.
Well, you got to keep going now.
Steampunk fashion is about creating an outfit that delights the senses, entertains the wearer, and engages the viewer. What?
I get it.
None of this.
That's not a rule.
Where's the steam?
Keep going.
I skipped rule 6.
Oh, cargo
get through
pants.
it.
Cargo pants.
Have fun and be yourself. Hey, guess what? This is the worst article of all time.
Thanks, BuzzFeed.
And it just killed the segment.
Thanks for making steampunk lame.
God. Only, of course, BuzzFeed could. They should call it Buzzkill.
Yeah, it ruins it.
You guys ready to talk about the MCU?
Yes.
Hey,
Let's do it.
We're getting our first MCU horror movie. When are we getting our first MCU steampunk movie? Doctor Strange and the Case of the Zeppelin.
Steam-powered hat. All right, moving on. MCU Phase 4 reveals. Let's talk about it.
Cool. So we're going to get to all of our trailer breakdowns after this, but there was so much Marvel news. And I'm going to say this right off the bat. I really love the MCU. I really love these movies. I love all of these characters. I have fallen in love with Ant-Man and Doctor Strange and the Guardians of the Galaxy. I don't know who the Eternals are. I don't. I'm not going to pretend like I do. But, man, there was some announcements. So I don't even know where to start because literally Saturday night, Jake, you were talking about it earlier.
Yeah.
It was just like, it was literally chaos.
Yeah.
It was like, refresh.
They had to all have hats on to distinguish what was going on.
Yes.
It's a lot.
Well, they did give everybody Black Widow hats. I actually looked up on eBay.
And I guess Blade was the only one that got his own special hat.
Spoilers.
No spoilers.
Well, cool. So what I'm going to do real quick. Actually, Abby, you made a ranking of some sort. What did you do?
Well, I feel like I feel like you always, when it comes to the MCU, you always ask Jake and I to rank things, like in order of what we care about or what we like most. So I ranked all the news. I think there's like 15 different pieces of like news information that came out.
Well, how about we start with this?
Yeah, let's do that.
There was a ton of reveals, right? Marvel basically laid out their entire Phase 4 that's going to be all of 2020 and 2021. It's starting with Black Widow, which is going to come out next May. That's going to be the next chapter of the MCU. And then there's a ton of TV shows and movies to come. Mm-hmm. Out of everything that was unveiled, what do you care the least about? Because whatever that is, we're just not going to talk about it. Because we need to X this out.
Cool.
So, not that none of it's bad. It's all good. But Abby, what did you care the least about?
Very bottom was the Fantastic Four.
Whoa, boy. I did not see this coming.
I know the least about it, so therefore I care the least. And that's kind of how everything else at my bottom of my list is. Sorry, Jake, but below that was the Mutants announcement, because I don't know anything.
So,
the two most important announcements Marvel made.
Number one is Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, because I love it.
Here's the thing, though. In all fairness, they didn't really go into much detail about any of those things because none of those have official announcements. So why don't we get that right off the bat?
Yeah.
Fantastic Four, Mutants, Guardians of the Galaxy 3, Black Panther 2, Captain Marvel 2, all slated to happen at some point after 2021.
Yeah, I have those as nebulous on my list. I have a core list of the 11 things that were like actual things. And at the bottom of that list, number 11 is the WandaVision show. I don't think I have to defend this. I don't very much care for either of those characters in particular. And I probably am not going to watch this. And I've made fun of Wanda when she calls him Viz. And I feel like I don't care about it. So
God, heartless.
Yeah.
Jake, what do you care the least about?
Any of the TV shows. The TV shows are just like, it's hard for me. So like Marvel has this weird thing where a lot of times, a lot of the new announcements, unless you're a diehard fan of that comic, it's like, okay, I'm sure it will be like when Guardians of the Galaxy was announced, like what did everybody think? Like most people were like, okay, I'm sure it will be cool. And like now it's like, it's your favorite thing. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of the same thing. Like right now, we might be like, okay, Eternals, whatever Shang-Chi's coming out. I don't know what these things are.
Yeah, exactly.
They're going to come out, and then we're going to be like, oh, these are great.
Yeah,
but
those are at the bottom of the list. Yeah, Loki, Shang, and the
I kind of don't give a shit about any of the TV shows. I'm probably not going to see. The only TV show that I am excited about is the animated What If show.
All right, let's talk about that.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's do it. The What If, Marvel and DC both have had What If comics, and I've always found those to be pretty fun because they're one-off stories that are not canon, and they're always kind of just ridiculous or, you know, they're just, it's whatever. It like whatever kind of story the writer wants to see, but there isn't any reason for that to happen in the real storylines. That's what the What If is. This is going to be an animated show. There's a ton of huge like Marvel cast members coming back to do voices for it. I'm guessing that it's going to be who did they announce as the Watcher? Bernard from Westworld.
Yes.
So I'm guessing that these are going to be structured. The Watcher is a character who literally just watches over, you know, the universe and, you know, writes these stories down and everything. And I'm assuming that the it's just going to be him kind of telling the stories.
And he's great.
But yeah, but just like What If, it's just a fun concept, and it's a fun way to see things that wouldn't make sense in any other context of the movie.
I'm into it like 100%. I like weird, like off the wall, like for no reason.
And it's cool because like they have all the actors coming back to do their voices. So like Chris Hemsworth, I didn't see Robert. I don't know if Robert Downey Jr., but like Paul Rudd, everybody. So yeah, I'm excited about that. I think Disney Plus is going to be a must-have streaming service between the Star Wars shows and the Disney shows, the Marvel shows.
For sure.
Abby, what was your number one besides Guardians? What was your number one?
Number one was Thor: Love and Thunder. I thought that the image of that, like, it pops. It's great.
It looked like
Ragnarok.
Thundercats.
Yeah, it's the font, like, and the colors are like, I was very much into Ragnarok. And the fact that Tessa Thompson is in that, and then they're bringing back my girl Natalie Portman, which also, just to go back to Tessa Thompson, isn't her character like confirmed bisexual, which I just think is very, very cool.
Well, she's bisexual.
Yeah, she is. So I just think it's like my interest level peaks. I'm into it.
Me too. I mean, it's like if I played a character and it's like, oh, your character's steampunk. Like, yeah, well, I'm steampunk. So it's like,
well, Craig is steampunk.
What do we think about Jane coming back?
Take
the mantle of Thor.
Yeah.
I think it's very cool.
Didn't you read some?
I read some of the comics too, which I forgot to mention. Yeah, and I think that female Thor, I really enjoyed what I read, and I think that seeing Chris Hemsworth and the female Thor, like, and Valkyrie together, like, it's all good, exciting. So I'm very pumped.
I'm kind of surprised that Natalie Portman's coming back. She kind of seemed over it, like after the second one. Mm-hmm. But I think the MCU's kind of become she's probably like, well, I could probably make $50 million. Like,
What else is she doing?
Dude, that's true.
I love Natalie Portman.
Yeah.
I keep forgetting how good
Annihilation would be the last thing that I can think of.
Cool. So I'm excited about Thor. Listen, Thor Ragnarok, Taika Waititi, like, I mean, you can make an argument that's the best of the MCU. And the fact that he's coming back.
It's up there for sure.
Like, he was supposed to do that Akira movie, but it's getting pushed back now, so he's doing Thor. Like,
He's writing and directing the new Thor.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Just great.
Do we have a release date for that?
November 5th, 2021.
Okay, so it's a ways off. Oh, wow. I just got really sad. That's so long.
2 years from now, yeah.
God, what are we going to do for the next...
That's the number one thing I'm looking forward to. It's like the furthest off. That's sad.
Well, cool. Well, why don't we do the rundown of everything, and we'll just give our... Because, listen, we could take any one of these subjects and do a whole episode on them. So, but we got to get to these trailers, and we're going to have plenty of time to talk about all these movies and TV shows as they get closer. But let's talk about it. So first up, Black Widow. We got David Harbour, Rachel Weisz. It takes place after Civil War, which I think surprised a lot of people. I think a lot of people were thinking maybe it was going to be just a straight prequel that takes place well before the MCU. But there was some footage that leaked from Comic-Con, and it does look like there's some flashbacks in there as well. Okay. So I have a feeling it's going to jump timelines. We all spoiler alert. We all had to say goodbye to Miss Romanoff recently.
Yeah.
Which
I think gives me increased interest in this movie because I didn't really feel much for her before Endgame. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Jake?
I kind of just... I'm sure the movie's going to be good, but I just... Black Widow's never been one of my favorite characters. I always think it's weird when a franchise kills a character off and then immediately bring them back in some sort of way. So that almost cheapens, even though it's a prequel, that kind of cheapens the emotional weight of the death to me. I will see it, but it's not a big... I don't care about it that much.
Yeah. It's kind of, to me, it's a little bit weird to me that, we had Avengers, then we had Spider-Man, and now we're not getting anything until Black Widow. So it kind of feels like the MCU's in a little bit of a holding pattern right now.
Does it feel like I kind of get a little, like, just now thinking about it, looking at this lineup of what the next 2 years is, honestly, I did like Doctor Strange. I think he's a great character. Besides him, the only other thing that I am super excited for is Thor. And Thor is the only... Thor and Doctor Strange are kind of the only, like, big connections to what we know as the Marvel Universe. Yeah. And it's almost like, oh, you're right. Like, we're not going to get a Captain America or an Iron Man. Like, that's just not going to happen. Mm-hmm. And to
Jake,
me...
I hate to break the news to you. Well, there's not going to be Captain America and Iron Man.
But the thing is that, to me, besides Thor, none of these other characters or none of these other films are really like... They can't really take the place of Iron Man. And, like, to me, Captain Marvel doesn't quite... I know they try to kind of set her up as to be maybe the next, leader of the team or whatever, but it just, to me, it doesn't feel like that. Like, there hasn't been enough build up to any of these new characters yet.
When is the Black Widow? What's the timeline of that movie supposed to be taking place?
It's after Civil War.
After Civil War, so before, before the events of Infinity War, basically.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, Jake, I feel like, though, like, all of our classic characters are basically getting TV shows, right? So the remaining Avengers are getting the TV show treatment. And listen, Abby kind of mentioned it, like, with Eternals and Shang-Chi, hardcore comic fans are familiar with those stories. I mean, John Yerkeba told me he was crying over the Shang-Chi announcement because of how important that comic was to him and his dad. So, like, they've got their fan bases, but like Guardians, this will be an opportunity for us to meet and fall in love with
for sure,
for new characters.
Yeah.
And to be honest, like,
with lowered expectations or almost none, which would be great.
Exactly. And, like, the Eternals has a great cast. It's like Salma Hayek and Evangeline Lilly's not in it. She's in it. Drawing a blank. What's her name?
Angelina
Angelina Jolie and Kumail Nanjiani, who I really like.
Yeah, he's great.
And
Brian Tyree Henry.
Yeah, great stuff, and I'm excited to see what they bring to the table and to see how it adds weight to the Marvel universe. So, cool. So Black Widow. Next up after that, fall of next year, is going to be the Falcon and Winter Soldier TV show, which I'm actually really interested in because Anthony Mackie, who plays Falcon, was saying he's already tried on that new Captain America suit.
Oh wow,
so
that's cool.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see how that progresses. I feel like it's time for the Winter Soldier to like have his moment. He's always just kind of either in the first couple movies like killing people, and I think my favorite was it in Black Panther or in I think it was in Black Panther when he's like living in Wakanda.
Yeah,
he just like comes out of that
just
little
chopping
shack,
wood,
just chopping wood.
Yeah, it's like pastoral.
Yeah, that's what they make it. We're in Wakanda, the most technological advanced society in the world, and we're like, just make him chop the fucking wood.
Winter Soldier, you will chop the wood. Cool. So that'll be fall of next year. Then Eternals will be November of next year. Shang-Chi will follow up in February of 2021. Then you've got WandaVision. Let's talk about this Doctor Strange movie. Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. What a title.
Yeah.
They're billing it as the first scary or horror-driven MCU movie. We'll see. I kind of rolled my eyes at that a little bit. But
well, even the title is a play on In the Mountains of Madness, which is, a very famous H.P. Lovecraft story. So, and the Lovecraftian kind of vibes kind of fit in with Doctor Strange. So, maybe that's what's going to be. I'm into it.
Me too. I put it like as my second most anticipated thing on this list because I like that shit. Yeah,
out of all the movies they announced, that's one of the most interesting.
So, Abby, are you a Cumberbitch?
No, I don't know if I'd necessarily say that. I'm not adverse to him. I do appreciate his like acting, and I think Doctor Strange is a very cool character. I like that he's like super duper smart and a collector and like has fancy nice things in his house.
He's great in Infinity War.
Yeah, he is like very. Yeah, I think he kind of crept up in that movie for me. So, and also the fact that this is going to be like a horror-driven, psychological, probably psychedelic type thing. I'm very much into that.
And hey, when you start messing with the multiverse, not the way Mysterio did, but like in a real way, I kind of thought they were going to bring out Deadpool in this panel for some reason, but we'll see what happens with that. Anyways,
who knows?
The Loki TV show will be after that. We're going to learn what Loki is up to after
Tesseract.
God, he's always stealing that Tesseract. In the events of Endgame, which again is kind of one of those things because Loki in the main timeline is dead, but now we get to kind of play with that a little bit. It maybe
does it cheapen it or what? Like,
yeah, for sure it does. But it does, but it's also a TV show, so it's like a less. To me, it's just less important.
Didn't they do that with like Phil or the agent that they killed and then like brought
Agent Coulson?
Coulson. Okay.
Yeah, Coulson. Like brought him back in the TV show that no one really cared about.
no one cared.
Hey.
So maybe if it doesn't affect...
There's people who watch Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. They just don't have some podcast.
Name one.
All of Troy Benjamin.
Troy Benjamin.
Does he?
He wrote a couple books about it.
You think he has?
Sorry, Troy.
Good for him.
Sorry, Troy.
Good job, Troy. Keep doing it.
All right. Troy's coming on Yes Have Some.
Yeah, we love him.
Make that money.
We do love him.
We do.
I do. He's a great dude.
All right. Then we've got the Hawkeye Show 2021. I know our friend Ryan Dole is very excited about Hawkeye. He loves Hawkeye.
I liked Hawkeye a lot more in Endgame, much like Black Widow. I thought he was
because he was killing people.
Fucking killing people.
Yeah,
That's
he was
cool.
like John Wick in that movie.
Yeah, I liked it, and you get it.
He had a cool haircut.
Oh, it was the coolest.
So cool.
God, was it cool.
So we talked about Thor, and then they did the big announcement with Mahershala Ali, who is from True Detective and Green Book, incredible actor, and he's fucking playing Blade. And did you guys hear the story how this came about?
No.
He called, after he won the Oscar, he called Kevin Feige and asked for a meeting at Marvel and said, I want to play Blade.
Oh, fuck.
So funny.
And they were
That's
like,
good.
all right, I guess we'll do Blade.
Dude, I didn't know that.
So funny.
But that means, to me, that's a really good sign that the
That's
movie
cool.
might be really that good.
I'm going to try that. I'm going to call Eric tomorrow at Ghost Corps, and I'll be like, Eric, I want to play Venkman's son.
I want to be Melnitz's daughter. Okay, I just did yours.
I want to be, you want to steal my joke?
I just did the
Want to do the
same
steampunk thing
I
again?
admitted it. It's because you made me steampunk.
Get in here, we're steampunk now. All right.
Oh, I'm all out of steam.
So yeah, I'm excited. Let's talk about Blade. Jake, do you like those original Blade movies with Wesley Snipes?
They're fun. I'm not sure that I ever even have seen the third one. They're fine. Like they're fun. I like one of the things I really like about them is you can read all the really weird stories about how by the time they got to the third one, Wesley Snipes was really like mad and annoyed about things, and he was very petty on set. And there's a scene where this is like a famous thing, and you can go watch a YouTube video of it, and it's very apparent. There's like a scene where I don't know if he dies or something happens to Blade, and they're kind of waking him up or bringing him back. And the scene calls for him to open his eyes. It's like him on a table, and they're like, you have to, you're waking up, open your eye. And Wesley Snipes he was like, nope, not going to do it. So if you go back and watch that scene, they CGI'd his eyes opening.
What?
And it's really weird looking. I can't remember off the top of my head what caused him to. There was a reason
Taxes.
There was a reason that he was being like this on set.
Yeah.
But there's like, you can just read articles of how he was acting in I think that last movie. But
they CGI'd him.
They CGI'd him.
Yeah, I don't know. I like the first Blade. I don't think I ever saw the other ones, but those movies are cool. And I know those comics have a cult following. And it's kind of cool to see Marvel break off and to do something a little bit,
It's just
different.
weird. It's weird thinking that that's going to be a part of the MCU now, and could, what kind of crossover they're going to end up. Like, I don't see Blade being like in the Avengers, when we get to another Avengers film, but like, there's going to be some sort of crossover or, reference to other movies, and
they're like,
that's cool to me.
Thanos returns. He's like, I will not fight Thanos as aliens unless they're vampires. That's my rule. All right. Well, real quick before we get into this fuck budget, because I know we're already going long, let's talk about. They teased Fantastic Four, and this has been the debate. Kevin Feige said mutants. Do we think they're developing a movie called Mutants, or was he just referring to the X-Men universe? Mutants. Yeah,
he's referring to the X-Men. They're not going to make a movie called Mutants. That doesn't make any fucking sense. I imagine we're probably going to start seeing mutants sprinkled in all of these other films in some way or another, even if they're not actual members of the X-Men. It's probably. I don't know, like when he did this other announcement about like, Guardians is coming, all these other movies are coming. I don't know if these are they weren't very clear about the timeline. Are those all strictly not happening until 2022 or what? The X-Men movie they're probably working on it. It's probably very far down the line. So I think he was just saying like, hey, Fantastic Four is happening. Mutants are happening. That's all he was saying.
We will see.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a really good opportunity to bring back Chris Evans to the MCU in Fantastic Four. Make it happen. Okay, let's get a hashtag going. Make Chris Evans fantastic again.
Yeah. Okay.
Let's do it.
I like it.
There is a lot of people. I don't know if this is a real rumor, but oh God, I'm such a. Why do I do this? Who was the leader of the X-Men? What's his name? Not the X-Men.
Professor X?
God
Xavier?
damn it.
Charles
No,
Xavier?
I fucked up. Fantastic Four.
Cyclops?
No, I know all the X-Men.
Mr. Fantastic?
Yeah, but what's his real name?
Reed Richards.
Yes, there are people who are clamoring for Keanu Reeves to play Reed Richards.
Oh.
I'll be into that.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, I would be into that.
Yeah, I'd be into Keanu Reeves doing anything.
And Agent Smith could play the other three. And it's actually a Matrix movie.
Oh.
It's just a Matrix sequel.
Yeah.
Cool.
Trinity! Help! All right, cool.
We're steampunk now.
Yes.
What'd you say? What'd you say?
They're steampunk in the new direction.
The new Matrix
We're
is...
steampunk.
Honey? Trinity?
Trinity! Get in here! We're steampunk now! It's like Neo puts on like a steam-powered like rocketeer thing on his back, and he's like, he doesn't even need it because he can fly, but he just does it for aesthetics.
Like instead of the little flip phone, he's got like a rotary dial like handle phone.
Yeah. Yeah, they're looking for the payphone in the Matrix. They're like, yes, Morpheus, give me back, please.
Neo, the red monocle or the blue monocle? One will power all of your steam dreams.
Jesus.
Oh, I don't have anything else.
Fuck budget.
Welcome to the Nebuchadnezzar, the greatest Zeppelin in the Matrix. I had to look up Nebuchadnezzar. I couldn't remember what that goddamn ship was called.
Is that actually the name?
Yes.
That's the dumbest fucking name ever.
Hey, it's. You're absolutely right. So listen, guys, here we do it. Here we do it.
Here we do it. Sorry. I'm over here obsessing trying to think of it. There is no spoon, but
Here
I
we
can't.
do it.
I can't.
There is no
There is no spoon device that I can't. Powered by steam to help you eat.
What are you doing there?
I don't know. That's what I came up with.
Just yell Oracle. We'll be done.
Oracle. Okay. Done.
All right. It's time for the Yes Have Some
Monocle.
Fuck Budget.
I don't give a fuck. We'll do it live. Fuck it.
Yes, we're changing it to the monocle. Welcome, everybody.
Monocles. Yeah, sorry, I'm done. I'm gonna stop.
Should we stop? Are we taking it too far?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Probably.
We have the fuck budget. It's going to be a special fuck budget this week. We usually take 5 topics in movies and toys, break them down. Jake and Abby each allocate fuck bucks. They only have 10 fuck bucks to spend over all 5 topics. This week we're doing 5 trailers that were released at San Diego Comic-Con. It worked out perfectly. Are you two ready?
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm ready.
Number 1.
I'm ready.
The second trailer for It Chapter 2 was released. It is the sequel to It Chapter 1, directed by Andy Muschietti, starring a whole host of people, including Bill Hader and Jessica Chastain. I know you guys are big It fans. Jake, when it comes to the Chapter 2 trailer, how many fucks did you give?
I gave it 3 fucks. I think this trailer looks really... This has been the best trailer so far, I think. It's very intense. It's got this really weird but fun, like, voiceover from Pennywise, which is fucking weird. They show part of the Adrian Mellon scene. There's all sorts of just quick flashes of, like... I had to pause and try to catch so many scenes because I was like, what the fuck is this? What the fuck is that? Is this the kid with the skateboard from the book? Is that, which it is? Mm-hmm. I was like, is this the smoke hole scene? This is the smoke hole. Like, this is Pennywise's lair. What? Like, there's so much shit in that trailer. It looks very good to me. Like, I liked the first half. I have maybe cooled on it a little bit. I haven't seen it in a while. I still like it. But I do, when I go back and watch it, there are a few things here and there that I'm like, oh, I wish they would have done this, or I still wish it would have been more like the book. This half looks really good to me. This trailer looks great. This is a good trailer.
Yeah. If we're jumping to me, I agree with you, Jake, but I gave it more fucks. I gave it 5 fucks.
Oh!
Because you just said that you cooled on it, and I feel like I'm like heating up the more that I watch it. Like, I get more excited. And I found myself, I watched this trailer like over a long weekend of work when I was like kind of bumming out, and it made me feel better and got me excited about this movie. And the fact that I think the Chinese restaurant like is my favorite part of the book almost.
It's
and
great.
Probably, it's part of the old 1991, the miniseries. Like, so seeing that and seeing the fish in the aquarium and like just knowing what happens in there, and just that's my favorite part about it, is like that the need for them all to be drawn back together, like in that second half. And I'm really excited about this movie. I didn't think that the first trailer, it wasn't my type of trailer because it did have such a long extracted scene from it, which to me is kind of like labor intensive and like takes away. I don't want to see everything, like for the sake of me being
I don't want to see a
movie.
whole scene.
Because I'm going to tune out a little bit when I'm watching it for the first time if I've already seen that whole scene. So this was I loved the voiceover. I even loved Pennywise's part. I loved the presence of Mike Hanlon being more in a role more and present more, because he's such a big character in the book. And I know you've mentioned that you love him too. So I'm excited about that. Jessica Chastain, I'm really into her portrayal of Bev and the stuff with her and the blood and whatever that monster thing is, like when she's being pushed underwater.
Yeah, in the water.
It's fucked up. And whatever the new stuff with like the carnival and the House of Mirrors is. I watched it again today, and it's some of the most claustrophobic, like dream, nightmarish material. Like seeing that kid get trapped, and then seeing Pennywise's tongue appear on the wall and or on the glass wall. It's like, oh my! I thought that was just. I want to see it because that's new. That's Andy Muschietti's stuff. That's going to be a departure from the book. But I'm into it. So $5.
I'm trying not to. I'm trying to kind of temper my expectations a little bit because, when the first half came out, and I didn't really have too many problems with it, but when the first half came out, I was hoping for something more accurate to the book. And in some ways it is more accurate to the book. But then again, there are some things that you're just like, well, why didn't they do that? Like, why didn't they do this? That's always going to be an issue. There have been I've seen so many reviews, not really reviews, but like there has been a lot of lines coming out where they have said like, hey, fans of the book are going to be shocked or like, they're saying that the second half is going to have more book specific things. And that is great. And what you mentioned about Mike Hanlon is another thing that really surprised me and I liked about the trailer is that character is barely in the first movie. Mike is barely there. Mm-hmm. He is my favorite character in the book and one of the most important characters of the entire book. And it does seem like we're going to get a little more Mike. But I'm also like trying not to get too hyped up for that and then see the movie and be like, oh, well, it's kind of just like the first one is,
Dude,
but
yeah, you're actually.
But I'm gonna be excited. I'm excited to see it no matter what. Like that kid that's in the trailer, that's like trapped in the funhouse. That is all completely. That scene is made up, but there is like a small interaction that Bill has with a kid when he comes back to Derry in the book. And it's a fun little it's like one of the moments of like you kind of feel good about what's happening. He has this conversation with a kid and he tells the kid like the kid's on a skateboard and he's like, hey kid, you got to be careful. And the kid's like, you can't be too careful on a skateboard. And that's just like such a perfect line.
Yes.
Just, and I think it was, I don't know if it was Andy or if it was posted in a photo somewhere, but someone posted a behind the scenes photo of Andy speaking to that kid and he has a skateboard in his arm. And I'm like, they're going to put that. I was like, that's in the movie. That maybe that's in the movie. So
yeah,
that's like such a weird scene that you would, if you were making a movie based on a book that's 1,200 pages, that's something you could leave. Like that's something you could leave out. Yeah, it's something that you're like, this isn't so important that it needs to be in there, but the fact that
it's in there
possibly isn't there is really cool.
Because that's some of the best stuff in the book. I remember that scene specifically, like as you're talking about it, the kid with the skateboard, and that's such a good line and such a good way to look at life. And it's really cool to think that that's going to be a little tidbit that's put in there. Yeah. But I think I don't want to get too overhyped. We've all been there with many movies in the past, so I don't have to name them, but I am excited, but I probably want to keep it a little bit more chill. I honestly don't know. I'm reading Dr. Sleep right now, and part of me wants to go back and like, I don't know, pick up the second half of it a little bit if there's going to be some little tidbits, because I want to be fresh.
Yeah, I mean, I did that before. I read all of it before the first movie came out, and I think that's always... I've done that with a lot of Stephen King books. I've read the book first and then watched the movie, and I think that's kind of a bad idea because 90% of the time the book is better. And that's not saying anything bad about the movies. It's just, when you don't have a time limit.
Yeah. Well, I take everything back.
And you have your own imagination to draw off of. It's like the books are. I was talking with a friend about reading it or going back and reading some of the stuff that I highlighted before part 2, and they were like, "That's probably not a great idea. It might cause you to come out a little disappointed." And I'm like, "Yeah, I guess so."
You know what? I'm going to take that as advice, and I'm just not going to read it.
Just don't do it. Just throw it away.
Don't do it, man.
Cool. So that's 5-3. Mm-hmm. I watched the trailer too.
Were you even in the room for this conversation just happened, or did you get up and go pee?
I was.
He was making. Can we? Because we're all going to make a joke about steampunk.
Yeah. I was going to say I was working
fixing his hat.
Yeah. Anyways, cool. We'll move on. It's fine. Cool. I thought the trailer was fine. All right.
Cool.
You can say. Do you have any?
I give it 1 fine. Next up, Jay and Silent Bob Reboot. The long-awaited almost didn't happen because Kevin Smith had a big old heart attack. He survived, and an angel touched him on the shoulder and told him
about veganism,
to be vegan, and to make Jay and Silent Bob Reboot. Yeah. We got the trailer, red band trailer, filthy. Abigail, they debuted it.
Yeah.
You love Kevin Smith.
I sure do.
How many fucks?
2 fucks. 2 solid fucks. And I still have a lot of other categories to disperse my fucks throughout. So
I know.
This is technically my second most cared about topic.
Spoilers.
Yeah. I almost
just gave away all your fucks.
I did. I'm going to take that back now. Yes, this is a trailer that gets me excited. I am obviously obsessed with Harley Quinn Smith. I've talked about it. So seeing her playing Millennium Falcon, which is a great name, and seeing all the other cameos, I guess, like Val Kilmer and Ben Affleck and Rosario Dawson and Chris Hemsworth, it was like, okay. Do I think that there's probably 30% of this movie that's going to need to be cut out and probably we could all do without? Yeah, there may be a few uncomfortable moments and jokes that don't land, but I love Kevin Smith. I love his relationship with Harley Quinn Smith. I loved Yoga Hosers in spite of the fact that it wasn't a perfect movie. So I'm just giving this a lot of excitement, and I love Jason Mewes, and I'm just excited that Kevin Smith is still around, and that he's doing his thing, and that Jay and Silent Bob are going to be back. And I hope it is better than anticipated. Either way, I'm going to be there, and I would like to be there for the tour that they're doing, like around the country for like they're doing, like they do for their podcast.
The road show.
The road show. I want to do that. But it's like Craig and I were looking on the website today, and I think it's a little expensive. And the first show sold out, so we'd have to go to like at 11 o'clock.
Yeah, they added a late show.
Yeah.
Jake, how many fucks?
I gave it 1, and I'm going to be honest. It almost got 0 for me. I like Kevin Smith, and I'm really glad he's still making movies. I think he is very funny. He's very talented. He's very entertaining to listen to. But I don't think I have watched a Kevin Smith movie and been thoroughly enjoyed all the way through it since Clerks 2. I just don't. I think that was the last time I watched a movie and really liked it. I feel like Clerks 2 and earlier feel like one Kevin Smith, and like Zack and Miri Forward feel like a completely different Kevin Smith. And this trailer, I'm gonna see it. I hope it's funny. Nothing in this trailer was funny to me. Like nothing in this trailer was like. It was almost, to me, almost felt cringy to me. I don't know. It looks very bad. But I'm going to give it a chance because I think Kevin Smith is a really great, talented dude. And I've, spent most of my life watching his films, and I hope it's great.
I think it's tough with this because I enjoyed the trailer, but it was literally exactly what I thought. Like, I don't have any preconceived notion that, like... You remember, like, when's the last time you watched Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back? Like, when I was when that movie came out, I was a senior in high school, and we all, like, lost our mind for it. Because it was like, dude, Jay and Silent Bob finally got their own movie, and it was just, like, cameos and, like, inside jokes, and we loved it. But if you revisit it, it's really not. It's not great, right?
But this trailer though feels like the bootleg version of that.
It feels like the reboot of it.
Like it's even water.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I did chuckle multiple times in the trailer, and I have a feeling. Listen, trailers are trailers. They're not always very indicative of what the movie ends up being. But you know, we'll see. Like I
mean that.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Yeah.
I think it's going to be fun and entertaining, and it'll just be like it'll just. It's not even getting like a wide release.
That's what I was going to ask.
It's a Fathom event.
Yeah.
Like it's going to be, I'm honestly surprised it's being made. And did you guys see, so you guys know the story of Clerks 3, like they were going to make it and then Jeff Anderson, who plays Randall, refused to do it. So they weren't going to make it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Kevin Smith announced yesterday he's rewriting it. He's taking another stab at Clerks 3 with the hopes of, he said that, he said that when he wrote the first script for Clerks 3, it was a little bit of a darker time in his life, and it's kind of a dark movie, and it's kind of about death. And he says he's in a new place, so he's still going to try to do Clerks 3, which it's really cool. And like, at the other hand, it kind of sucks for Kevin Smith because I feel like he's at a point in his career where for him to get movies made, they're going to have to kind of be like nostalgia based or continuations of stuff he's already done. Like, he kind of had his chance to do his own original stuff, and none of it really panned out. Although, Jake, when's the last time you watched that movie Jersey Girl?
When it came out.
It's great. I love that movie. Like, I know people gave it a lot of shit at the time, but I always thought it was pretty good. And like, then he did that movie with like Bruce Willis and like, or whatever, and like, it just didn't work.
Yeah. It's weird to me because like when you think about movies like, you know, like Dogma and Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, like those Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back was in that was a big movie when it came out. Like his earlier film, you know, Zack and Mary was in the theaters. Those were big budget movies. And now it's like after he did, I guess it was it Cop Out? Is that the name of that movie?
It flopped.
After that, it did bad, but then he started doing these really small, you know, that's when he did like Tusk and
almost like a pet project.
He started doing all these really smaller. What was the movie after Tusk? The like horror movie?
Red State. Those movies, I think Tusk is a pretty fun movie. I thought it was cool. I've only seen it once, but like Tusk, Red State, and Yoga Hosers, they don't seem like they're not Kevin. They don't seem like the kind of Kevin Smith movies that. I think he had like a confidence issue or something, and like he kind of. I don't know, man. Like I don't know what it is that happened. I don't know. All I know was I enjoyed all of his movies up until I think Zack and Miri, and then something happened, and it just kind of. I feel like I like Zack and Miri. To me. Do we not like Zack and Miri? I liked it when I first saw it. I rewatched it on Netflix a while back, and to me, it did not hold up. Okay.
I'm not sure how it would hold up for me. I remember laughing at it and enjoying it when I saw it for the first time. But I think Kevin Smith had a shift. I think that, but I still
he started smoking weed. Now his movies.
Is that? Yeah. I mean, he did.
I mean, like, that's not, I'm not saying anything bad about people who do that. I don't care. But literally, he started smoking weed during Zack and Miri.
Okay.
And I have not liked any of his movies
focus. Well, I mean, there's a chance.
I don't know. Yeah. That's such a weird way to look at it. And that's not, I don't actually think that. Yeah, but I don't know. His movies are different now than how they used to be. It's so weird to think about because, like, we've talked, we're about to move on, but, like, you know, Kevin Smith and Tarantino were like looked at in like the same vein when they like it was like, look at these up and coming indie filmmakers doing really interesting stuff, and different trajectories for sure. For sure.
Yeah.
All right. Well, cool. Fuck it.
Yeah.
Hey, they still
Here's hoping he didn't lose his egg.
Here's hoping that it's the greatest film of all time. I hope it's so fun. Like I would love to see it. Like I would like to see a Clerks 3. Like I'd be into that. I want it to be good. Jay and Silent Bob are always fun. And maybe that's the part maybe that's the part that I'm missing. You know, like I'm sitting here saying like I haven't really loved one of the movies since Clerks, and maybe it's because he's gotten out of that universe. Like all these movies have just been other things. Maybe this is what I need.
I'd like to blame that rather than weed, but
he's got Ben Affleck back.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, and there's something to be said for like losing your edge a little bit when you do get like wealthy and famous. You don't have those issues because he wrote Clerks and did all that like to get out of that position.
Yeah, to get out of poverty.
Necessary. Yeah, exactly. So when you're hungry for it, you have it like sarcastic, dark, fun edge.
Let's move on.
Cool.
Next up, the danger zone, the need, the speed,
I got the need.
Top Gun.
Playing with the boys.
Who's first? Jake, how many fucks?
0.
All right. Abigail, how many fucks?
1 fuck.
Jake, what is your reasoning here?
I just didn't. I mean, I saw the first Top Gun for the first time last year, and I just did not. It's just not my kind of movie.
It is interesting.
Just don't care. Like I think Tom Cruise is fine. Like he's done a lot of good stuff, and just like nothing about that movie.
It's really interesting. Like
it's not my thing.
I also did not see Top Gun for the first time until like 2 weeks ago. I really liked it because I'm steampunk now, but I actually really liked it. But it is weird. Like there is a huge nostalgia for this movie, but I feel like there's that dividing line. Like some kids like Gremlins and Ghostbusters, and some kids like Top Gun.
Are you putting Transformers and Top Gun in the same like group of people?
Yeah.
No, not Transformers. Like I feel like
they're talking about people who like machines and vehicles.
No, like kids in 3rd grade who had Lamborghini posters like Top Gun. I was like,
okay, I'll have you know that in the 3rd grade, I had a Lamborghini poster because I used to go to the car show in Atlanta and I would collect all the posters and take them home because they were free and I liked to collect things. So maybe that's why I like Top Gun. I'm giving this a fuck. Also, Tom Cruise was possibly my first ever crush. I was obsessed with this movie when I was little. I went back and rewatched it with Craig, and it doesn't. I get why you don't like it, Jake. It doesn't have like violence or sci-fi appeal or like a lot of things that would no monsters. There's nothing that really would draw either of us. Maybe I'm not trying to stereotype you. You know what I'm saying? Like it doesn't have that. It's about the military kind of, which is definitely not an interest of mine. But I do have a nostalgic tie to this from childhood, and I feel like this was a really good trailer. And it was well cut. And if you were a fan of Top Gun, I feel like this would get you excited.
I will say this.
So I'm excited to see it.
For any franchises making legacy sequels, if you want to get your fan base excited, look at the Top Gun trailer. Like,
go ahead.
No, go for it. You're good.
I've seen a lot of people say they really love the trailer. The trailer's 90% just an airplane flying around. I'm like,
but that's why they like Top Gun. That's why they like Top Gun.
Is that like it? The trailer's 90% just an airplane flying around, so they don't have to show you how bad the movie actually is.
Jake's like, yeah, it'd be a lot cool if a fucking monster jumped out and fucking tore that
or if
airplane.
There's nothing in it. I think there's like 3 lines of dialogue that are all completely out of context, one-liners. I'm like, there's no plot here. It's just an airplane with Tom Cruise in it.
It looks like they're going to redo the first movie and hit all the same notes. Because when I was watching it, I was like, these are all scenes that are out of the first movie, but it looks like they're just
Hey, if there's beach volleyball, I'm down.
I like the beach volleyball. I think it's great.
I'll see it.
I liked Val Kilmer more than Tom Cruise in Top Gun.
He's in it. Somehow.
Yeah.
All right.
He's in 2 of the 5 movies we're talking about
this
here.
This is the Val Kilmer fuck budget. Next up, The Saint. All right. I lost my fuck budget.
It's Picard.
Yes. Picard. I can't do a Patrick Stewart impression. Who's the leader of the X-Men? Anyways. Next up, we got the full trailer for Picard, the brand new Star Trek show, The Return of Patrick Stewart. Guys, I'm excited about this one, but I also had a revelation about the Next Generation Star Trek series this week. I'll save that till after this. Abigail Gardner, how many fucks?
Well, I gave this 1 fuck. I definitely love Patrick Stewart. The Next Generation is my favorite of the Star Trek
I like how
generations.
we're now calling it, instead of calling it Star Trek TNG or Star Trek Next Generation, we've both referred to it as The Next Generation.
It's I've watched a lot of Next Gen and I really like it, and I am excited to see some of the characters return. I know that we tried to watch didn't Star Trek return on CBS All Access, and we kind of started it.
Discovery
didn't
I
really
hear it's
follow
good
through.
though.
Yeah, this is one that
I watched it on the plane home from or
how
on the
was
plane
it?
on the way to California.
Did you like it?
It was okay, but the first 2 episodes were so dramatic that it was like it just felt so heavy.
Yeah.
I feel like maybe if I were to kept watching and gotten to the point, you know how Star Trek has like plenty of like, you know, heavy and real episodes, and then there's plenty of like more lighthearted stuff.
I'm on the lighthearted side. Like I like
the first 2 episodes of Discovery are like it's like a 2-parter episode, and it's just like war, someone important's dying, like what, you know, the captain, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So it was really like, ooh.
Yeah. My favorite episodes of Next Gen are like when they go on the holodeck, or when Picard takes a vacation and is wearing that really short bathing suit and hooks up with that girl. I like when Riker's hooking up with people too. I like the episodes that aren't quite as serious, and so I don't know. This show looks like it's going to be very serious, and it's following. I don't know. Hopefully, it'll be great. I'm giving it 1 fuck. Have you gone yet,
Jake? How many fucks?
Well, I'm giving it 5 fucks.
Whoa.
Because Star Trek Next Generation is not only hands down the best Star Trek series out there, it's just one of the best TV shows, period. Like, it is such a good, like we talked about this on our Desert Island episode, which is a Patreon exclusive. That show it's just great. Like everybody on that show is like, Patrick Stewart is such a good actor. He is the best captain there has ever been. That show is full of like heart. It's very funny. It's touching when it needs to be.
Groundbreaking.
Yeah, exactly. And Data and Captain Picard are arguably the 2 best characters in the Star Trek universe. They have those 2 actors are very, very, like, they work very well together. They have such a balanced, like, relationship. And I don't know how long ago that ended, but they're both of them are coming back, and I'm sure we're gonna see probably almost every cast member from fucking Next Generation. Hey, you know what? I guarantee you Wesley Crusher's coming back to join this fucking crew.
Only to be told to shut up.
I don't care. I want to see it. It does. I mean, of course, part of me is nervous that it's not going to live up to how good Next Generation is. And it does look like it's going to be quite a different show. But the movies that they made after Next Generation were a little disappointing, as like most of the Star Trek movies were at that period of time. The fact that we're going to see, you know, Captain Picard continue and get to, you know, do some more stuff and like kick ass and hang out with Data again, and that's exciting to me.
Yeah, they confirmed that Riker and Deanna Troi are going to be on the show.
And I think Riker. I think the guy who plays Riker is even going to be directing some episodes. He directed Jonathan Frakes. Yeah, he directed some of Next Generation. So.
Yeah,
cool.
That's cool.
So
I love Deanna Troi.
Here's my Star Trek Next Generation confession. I've watched a ton of it. I've probably seen 50 episodes.
Yeah.
I never know what's going on. Because I always mentally check out, and I just kind of like, I literally need to start from the beginning. If you asked me one thing that happened on that show, I'd be like, Worf has a son.
The thing that I really like about Star Trek, and especially the old Star Trek, is when there's so many Star Trek, Next Generation, and Deep Space Nine both did this very well. Whenever there's so many seasons of it, just the fact that like it's more fun watching a show like that when every episode is its own storyline. Yeah. Like sure there's things where they have like an ongoing Borg thing, which they're bringing all the Borg stuff back for this show, which is great, but there's always kind of that ongoing storyline. But Star Trek is a very, very episode to episode show. And when you do stuff like that, you get all of these weird episodes where it's like, hey, you know what? This week on Star Trek, we're 100%, talking about Worf. Or this episode, it's all going to be about Data's brother, or like weird shit like that.
How about the episode where something happens and it goes like 15 years in the future and Riker loses his memory and he comes back and he's the captain now, and they show Patrick Stewart's the admiral, and Patrick Stewart's 15 years older, and all they did was give him like a weird goatee. Yeah. He looks like fucking Mortal Kombat character.
Yeah.
I love that.
There's this great series of episodes where like Moriarty from Sherlock Holmes is a main villain in Star Trek Next Generation because his character in the holodeck has like become sentient and like realizes that he's in a computer simulation. Yeah. So he's like always trying to get out of the holodeck. It's such a weird thing, but like.
What about
I love the holodeck.
Yeah, it's fun. I'm excited.
It's like, we have all these 1920s costumes. So
one thing I'm a little bit concerned.
I got a lot of Robin Hood stuff left over.
There's literally an episode where Geordi he has a crush on this woman, so he programs a version of her into the holodeck that loves him.
Yeah, dude, that happens a lot. Addiction in the holodeck. There's a whole episode where that one guy keeps. He like makes them all subservient to him, which is a lot like that Black Mirror episode.
He makes him smarter than everybody because it's Barkley. There's always like weird shit happening to Barkley. That's the dude who got stuck in the transporter.
How addicted would Yes Have Some be to the holodeck if we were on the Enterprise?
I'd be in like, guys, go to Toys R Us.
We would. I was just about to say we would be at Olive Garden in the holodeck.
No, I'm going to fucking Universal Studios in 1993, 1994, seeing the shit I didn't get to see.
Yeah.
I hope that the new show can capture some of what we're talking about. Because the trailer's pretty dramatic and serious feeling. So hopefully it'll have that
silly.
That whatever that is that we're touching about. Hey, we'll have to have Chase Ambrose on the show to tell his Q story from Dragon Con.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's always
Bonus
a good one.
content.
Sure.
Boner content.
Whoa.
All right. So
it's next gen. Can I tell my next gen story?
What's your next gen story?
About the text I accidentally sent my mom.
Oh yeah, you gotta tell us.
I thought I texted. This happened a couple of years ago. I was watching Next Generation while wrapping Christmas presents, and I meant to text Craig Goldberg, but I texted my mom the following text. Well, you know that everyone on TNG is just down to fuck. And my mom was like, what? And I was like, Mom, first of all, it's true. So that's why I said it. Everyone is down to fuck. And second, I was like, Mom, I'm sorry. That was for Craig. It's just great.
That's amazing.
I know.
That's funny.
It's good. I think it's good. What I did is I sent a whole barrage of texts to my mom, so it backed that up.
Oh yeah, she'll never go back.
She won't go back.
Don't scroll. Dude, if they could come out with an app that lets you delete other people's texts
that you sent,
that'd be great.
A text retriever.
Yeah, text retriever.
Text retriever.
All right, cool.
Sharks.
Last up, Watchmen.
Yes.
This is going to be the new series being done by Damon Lindelof on HBO. It is a follow-up to the comics. It's not a follow-up to the movie. It is a follow-up to the very, very famous, influential, monumental comic book series, Watchmen. Jacob Walsh, you saw the trailer.
Yeah.
How many fucks?
Well, I only have one fuck left, and that's what I gave it.
I thought you'd be like, I only have one left, and I'm actually giving this one to Picard.
And I'm giving it to something. No, I thought it looked pretty good. Like whenever I first heard that they were going to make a Watchmen TV series, my first thought was like, well, that's going to be dumb. Like I think the movie that was made is pretty great. Like I know we give Zack Snyder a lot of shit for all the stuff that's gone down in the DC universe, but that Watchmen movie, especially if you watch like the Ultimate Edition,
with the animated stuff,
the Snyder cut,
that's the Snyder cut.
That's the real Snyder
it's
cut.
pretty great. Like it's almost 100% adaptation of the book. Like it's pretty spot on in most ways, and I love it. I think it's really good. It's like full of really great actors and performances. That I love that movie. Whenever I heard that there was a TV show, I was like, oh, it's going to be weird to, do a new version of this. But the trailer looks pretty good to me. It looks kind of sort of in the same style as the movie. It's always weird to me whenever they make a continuation of something and it's not, the original creators idea or whatever, but it looks to follow pretty good. There's some good actors in this. There's a couple we're getting, like Dr. Manhattan's going to be in it. Adrian Veidt is going to be, there's a couple of the same characters. It's a couple years later, but like it looks pretty cool. That was a pretty good trailer. I thought I will watch this. Yeah, I'll check it out.
Yo.
Yeah. Ozymandias, played by, what did Abby say earlier?
What did I refer to him as?
What you call him?
She called Jeremy Irons the worst Alfred.
Yeah. Oh, no doubt.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
so mean.
I forgot it.
Yeah, fuck that. I gave this one fuck because I only had one fuck left, and I actually pulled that fuck from the Picard trailer, which I originally gave 2 fucks to, but I had to pare that down and take a fuck away and give it to the Watchmen trailer after watching the trailer today for the first time because I liked it a lot. I was surprised by the fact that I liked it. I enjoyed the Watchmen graphic novel. As a fun note, I was reading it when Craig and I met, and we were both reading it, actually. It was one of the things that brought us together. So I have a strong connection to it.
Wait, how dumb is that?
I know.
Why was I reading Watchmen?
I'll tell you why.
We all know Craig doesn't read.
Here's the thing. I thought you did. I also thought you owned your own house at that point. But found
Abby,
that out.
Abby,
Turns out I'm a
Abby,
liar.
Hold on. Here's a question. Abby, whenever you ran into Craig and he was reading Watchmen, was it upside down?
Yes.
Was it one of those things where he just noticed what book you were reading, so he got it too, but he was actually never actually reading it, and he was just holding the book upside down?
Yes.
No, I had a Sports Illustrated swimsuit edition on the inside.
100% Christy Brinkley. Well, also, here's what I'm trying to say. That Watchmen was on display like at every bookstore in the center of the store because the movie was gearing up to come out. So both Craig and I were being kind of basic by jumping and cashing in like right before the movie came out. It's fine. I loved the graphic novel.
There's nothing wrong with that.
There really isn't. Because that's why we have a podcast, is to get excited about things.
Well,
so
actually, similar to my Next Generation story, I read all of Watchmen, put it down, and said, I have no idea what this is about. I have no idea what's happening in this book.
Did you really read it all?
Comic books are hard to read.
No.
I don't know whether I'm supposed to look at the
Not that
pitch.
one. It's
No. I read The Killing Joke yesterday. I didn't tell anybody.
No.
Yeah, the comic.
You really?
Yeah, remember yesterday I was having that panic attack?
And it was because the Killing Joke's so fucked up?
It was really fucked up.
I hate it. All right. Watchmen, though, I really liked Watchmen, and I liked this trailer because it captures that dystopic, everybody's fucked, the world is hopeless, but there's like a little tiny bit of human spirit to save the day kind of a thing. Like there could be a shred of hope left, which is what I really liked about Watchmen. It had the comic or the graphic novel had like some very disturbing stuff in it, and this trailer had some really disturbing little images peppered throughout it, like that guy like coming out of the carnival he's like naked and like scared, and then there's some weird not weird but like obvious political commentary going on and tension with like policemen wearing masks to do more fucked up shit. Like that's very current and cool and interesting, and it makes me interested in the show in a way that I wasn't before. Initially, I was like, fuck, I don't care about a Watchmen TV show because it's just Zack Snyder's. I'm sure yes, we respect the movie, but it's not one of my like absolute favorite go-tos. So for some reason though, for the reasons I just stated, I'm going to watch the show and I give it a fuck.
I know none of us watched The Leftovers, but we all are familiar with Damon Lindelof. How do we feel about him doing this?
Sure.
All right, cool.
He was in Lost. Yeah, I know.
Let's watch some Lost.
Yeah.
Prometheus.
Dude.
Hey, I'm excited. Don Johnson's in this. That's good enough for me.
That's cool.
No. I think this trailer better than the teaser. Who were you just sticking your tongue out at?
Gypsy, our cat. She's giving me the stink eye. She looks like that little Annabelle head.
Anyways, speaking of Annabelle, isn't Patrick Wilson, star of The Conjuring, in the Watchmen movie as the owl?
The Owler. No, his name is like Night Owl or something.
Yeah,
Night Owl.
See,
the owl.
I think this show looks really cool. I think it'll be. I got really hyped when they cut to Mars and they showed Dr. Manhattan. I was like,
Yeah.
God, this is actually really cool.
Yeah.
That little shot at him at the end where he like picks up the mask. I'm like, oh shit! Like they're gonna bring him back. That's cool.
Oh shit!
I like that.
I must not have finished the trailer.
Are you serious?
Is there like a post?
Are you fucking kidding? That was the coolest part of the trailer.
It's the end of the trailer. They
You
just cut
see
to him
something on the
walking. It's like a Dr. Manhattan mask on the ground, and a man with a suit is walking, and he leans down to pick it up, and
and
it's
the hand
a
is
blue
blue.
hand.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's him.
I didn't see that.
Jesus Christ,
Dude,
What if I
it's the
watched?
best part.
I just watched the trailer for the movie. I'm like, guys, it looks pretty good.
Guys,
It's pretty good.
I'm pretty excited.
My question is, who watches The Watchmen? You know, that's like what I'm wondering. Well, listen, guys, we covered so much ground. We do every week. I had a lot of fun. I give this episode 10 fucks.
Yeah. I'm going to take a fuck away from Picard and give it to this episode.
I'm going to take a couple fucks and build myself a steampunk proton pack with little gears.
oh, that's never been done.
Oh, I thought you were going to say a steampunk fuck budget because I'm expecting one for next week.
Yeah, it'll be steam powered.
Ooh, power, yes.
Well, listen, everybody, what we want you to do is take a deep breath because we know that we're getting you hyped for these movies. We know that we're all over the place, and I think some Ritalin would do this podcast good.
Dude, yeah.
But we love our listeners, and if you are listening and you have not subscribed to Yes Have Some podcasts yet, please make sure that you can subscribe immediately wherever podcasts are available. We're talking Downcast app, iTunes, Apple iPhone podcast app, Spotify, YouTube. We're all over the place, but what we really want you to do is get on iTunes and leave those 5-star reviews. We want to hear what you think about Yes Have Some, and for every review we get, it helps us out, puts us in front of more eyes, and we want to grow this thing. Just like we talked about Patreon. We like growing out the community, and we're having a ton of fun. So, subscribe to Yes Have Some on iTunes, Spotify, YouTube, wherever you get your podcasts. We would very much appreciate it. And please follow us on Instagram and Twitter at YHS Podcast. We've been doing a lot of Instagramming lately, taking a lot of pictures. I got some NECA toys coming in. We're going to be doing some reviews of that. Having a lot of fun. And of course, the official Facebook group for Yes Have Some is Group Therapy. Abby, how did they get there?
Do it. It's so easy. You just open up your Facebook, search for Yes Have Some podcast. You'll find our page. Scroll down. You'll see Yes Have Some Group Therapy pop up as an option. Ask to join because it is a closed group. We like to keep it closed because it's better that way. We just keep quality content up. So if you want to be a part of our group and share about the things that you're buying and stressing about and the movies that you love and the books that you love and the toys you hate and how you wish you were at Comic-Con, then join our group and either Craig, Jake, or I will accept you and you can get going and hang out with the rest of us who all are just, we probably need Ritalin.
Listen, it's a fun group. It's a positive group. There is, it's not like a normal, it's not like a Ghostbusters page. It's not full of memes. We've been, listen, a good meme's a good meme, but we're going to have some quality control going on. We're not going to yell at you for having a spirit pack to your face. And
even though we just did an entire steampunk episode, we really want quality content from you guys.
yes, that's what we're saying. Because we don't know how to provide it. We need you to provide it. No, I love group therapy. Like we said with Comic-Con, there was so much good discussion going on. Everybody was throwing out their opinions. Everybody was getting hyped when that Blade announcement happened. It's a ton of fun. And you do not have to be on Patreon to get in group therapy. Anybody, if you're a listener to YHS, come into group therapy. But like we talked about earlier, we're building out that Patreon community. Please, please check us out. Patreon.com/YesHaveSome. You will not regret it. Abigail, Jacob, final thoughts. What do you got?
I'm just ready to see all the stuff. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood comes out tomorrow. So
Dude.
I'm excited.
Yeah, we're seeing it tomorrow night.
We got tickets.
10 o'clock.
I'm excited.
Maybe we'll do a quick little bonus review. Like,
that'd be fun.
Initial
Dude,
thoughts.
we should record our call on the way home that we always do.
Oh, that's a great idea. Every time there's a new movie out, we always call each other. We're going to start recording that.
Yeah.
Also, what I'm thinking about doing for Patreon, I'm just going to record the movie on my iPhone.
Oh!
Post it.
Oh, get some views. Oh, I like it.
I mean, that's cool, right?
That's a good idea.
Just put up bootleg movies. Death Blow.
Dude, I like it.
All right, everybody. Well, we'll see you next week. Thank you so much. We got a lot of fun stuff coming up, including booking some fun guests coming up in the next couple months. But we don't want to spoil that. It's always weird to announce a guest ahead of time because then if something happens and they have to reschedule or cancel or Lyndon Porco.
Or if they have a family emergency.
Yeah, what's that about? What could be more important than talking to us? I can think of 14 things to do with a cadaver today. Remind me to tell you guys about my hashtag story as soon as we stop recording.
Reboot content only.
All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye, guys.